Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Championship League, where we're going into game number 3 of our third place deciders. So we're on 3 for 3 right now, where both teams are actually 1 for 1. That's right, get the numbers through your head, and you're basically Nahas. I'm TobiWan.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we're going to get into the game. Draft's already begun. We'll have this game around Liquid over on the Radiant side, and we'll have on the Dire side, Sigma over on the Radiant side. And we're starting off our ban pool. ET's coming into the ban pool this time around. Bane again being banned out by TC time and time again. He will not let that one through. But the Alchemist as well as the Slark being removed by Fader. And now we see if we're going to go 3 for 3 on the Pugner as well. Profit for Team Liquid. They want to look at the split push potential. But what else do they find?
I'm interested. I mean, it's been a long time since we saw the Furion first pick. Like, that has been a long, long time ago since that was a constant sort of thing.
Yeah, but with Quoitver, it's completely understandable. Like, he's a great offensive off-lane nature's prophet. It's just with the Shadowblade nerf, everyone's like, I'm not feeling the confidence to split push anymore. Not like I used to with the consistent pressure. I have to do it in like 30-second intervals now, and I hide in tree lines, and I pop Necrobooks off with my units out in the fog of war, and then let it push, and I run away, so you don't get your levels, you don't get all this kind of stuff. It's a very different prophet to what we knew from TI3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oftentimes you see Furion's...
give me a tiny...
They actually group up a lot more with their team. They just, win some sort of skirmish or some sort of pickoff, and then immediately Furion is there with his team, pushing down that tower very, very quickly. Very, very strong with Dragonites, so look for that to be a big pickup for Team Liquid once again. But maybe they're a little bit afraid after that last match. Maybe it won't go successful. And, of course, the Wisp into something combo. Chaos Knight, Tiny.
We just... something.
Rikamaru.
And Ricky's always good, but they're going to go with something slightly different. We go with the Crystal Maiden selection instead, so we're going to keep it a secret, and I can understand why Fader is doing this. He's looking at this going, well, I know what I want for my offlane. I already know what I want to have as my one combo hero with the Wisp. I don't care what happens right now. If Liquid want to try and ban out against it, let them go for it. Let them take out the Tiny. Let them take out the CK. It opens up their offlane so much more. Because they already know Liquid's got their offlanes. There's no point banning out against that. So just ban out the mid solos more than likely from Fader and just go to town. And yeah, TC wants to do it. He doesn't want to face up against the Tiny at least. But this is going to be one of those times where you're going to see Soshka go Gyrocopter with a buff up in the Wisp. It's going to happen. I'm not a huge fan of it because it burns his flight cannon so quickly it's not funny. But at the same time, that's a lot of damage coming fast.
It is. Wisp. We're no longer in the age of where there's only 2 or 3 different Wisp combo heroes. Wisp is being run a lot more as just sort of a buff up for more traditional carries. We don't necessarily have to see some sort of combo with the Tether, especially since Tether did get that nerf. It's no longer as important to be able to land the Tether on these heroes. So things like Chaos Knight aren't nearly as powerful or important when it comes to the drafting phase. So I can understand the line of reasoning here coming out from Feda, being able to just let those heroes get banned out, waste their bans away. They still got plenty of good heroes to pick up afterwards. One big thing that stands out for me is we've got some squishies on Team Liquid already. Nature's Prophet. Clockwork would be a good offlane here. You're insured yourself. You have at least 2 heroes that you're really good at being able to pick off. Nature's Prophet especially has a hard time against Clockwork.
Would you really want to turn down the Bristleback at this point, though, for your offlaners?
I mean, obviously, maybe wait till the 3rd pick coming out from Team Liquid to consider it, but
5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I would. You already are going to have that big Wisp combo hero, some sort of hard carry to run. So if you have an initiator to set things up for you, whether it's for the Wisp relocate ganks or just to be able to set up team fights for you to run in with the Tether and the buff that's coming from that Wisp, I much prefer a strong initiator for Sigma if they're going to be running a Wisp here.
Yeah. Well, let's see who they do pick up. Last ban out from Fader. Does he go for the full commitment to take out the jungle, which means he has to ban out the Chen in this scenario, and then look into his first pickup? It is the nice little thing to do here, where let's say, oh, so Liquid, what are you going to ban out? I got first pick coming to the next stage. You can't even block pick me with something else that you want. Not that you'd ever block pick with a CK. I know he went through that era, but I'm really glad that era is over.
Yeah, that was
that was a very
chaos. That you were not a hero anymore. You were a hero when Wisp had a stun from Tether, and the few times like there have been. I can probably count on my hands the amount of times that I've seen Chaos Knight picked up without the Wisp. And it's been like block picking or a team just going, Chaos Knight's a good hero, right? Yeah, he's a good hero. We don't need Wisp, right? Yeah, we don't need Wisp. And then they lose in 20 minutes. And it was just like, sorry, Chaos Knight. Just something about you. I mean, the idea is there. It's just...
Liquid's turn to pick.
Nyx Assassin by Sigma. I got a funny feeling this is also like a bait ban. A bait pickup, where they're waiting for Team Liquid to go into that OD. Because he is one guy that's slipped through the ban pool right now, and both teams really do favor to run that Outworld Devourer. But with the Nyx Assassin as well, that's going to be, or should be, your middle lane in this case.
10 seconds
when you got a Crossman and a Wisp already in the pool, that's probably what we're going to go for.
5 seconds
but the other
remaining.
two, we're still missing off lane, we're still missing a number 1 slot hero.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like...
Reserve time.
I do like, I should say. I really do like OD versus Wisp and whatever Wisp hero, because you know they're going to be close together, guaranteeing yourself a good ultimate. Oftentimes Wisp is, I mean, he's a strength hero. He does have some intelligence, but not as much as many other supports. So it means he's going to get wiped out by that ultimate from OD very, very quickly, as well as hitting an
Radiant
additional
team
hero.
pick.
But instead, we're going to see a bit more mid-game aggressive hero like Night Stalker.
That Liquid is just... Okay, you pick up a Nyx this early on, you reveal what you're going to do in the middle lane, and Team Liquid are like, well, okay, we know you're going to run Nyx in the mid, so we grab a Night Stalker. We are able to run around the map. He's fantastic against all 3 heroes on Sigma's lineup right now. Every single one. He can hunt, murder, and
10
control.
seconds remaining.
And then on top of that, he's got a Prophet which can run in there and just give him an ultimate. Even if he
5
doesn't have to
seconds
TP in there,
remaining.
he can just throw the ultimate out. Visage Birds can almost be there as well without having to have Visage there as well.
Reserve
So I got
time.
all of these things stacking up right now for Team Liquid that just seem to work so well for their lineup. And Sigma, we do get the CK as the last combination.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
I got a feeling, man, this is going to be a CK with solo mid, a dual lane mid. This Nyx pickup, it throws a curveball for me. I don't understand why Fader picked it up so early on and revealed up such a hero. There's got to be something more to this. There's got to be something more than meets the eye.
Well, I mean, he is a good hero to be able to have levels on against Nature's Prophet. Ensures yourself to be able to stop a lot of these
10
split
seconds
pushes.
remaining.
Even if Nyx Assassin isn't actually there to gank the Nature's Prophet,
5
still just the
seconds remaining.
psychological fear of having the Nyx Assassin off lane, out of vision
Reserve
somewhere,
time.
can keep Furion from split pushing. It's also going to be able to set up the, just like a Bounty Hunter was, I would much prefer a Bounty Hunter in this regards, but Nyx Assassin does help set up later on, once he has higher levels of Vendetta.
10
It lasts longer.
seconds
He can help
remaining.
set up those Wisp relocate ganks by being able to initiate, hit that
5
stun,
seconds
and that
remaining.
way the relocate is never off the mark, and they're guaranteed to be able to pick off that one hero. But you're right, Night
Radiant
Stalker is a
team
bit
ban.
higher tempo when it comes to ganking. He's constantly able to bounce around the map. The only thing that really slows him down is daytime, but even then, he still will counter gank occasionally just because his nuke is still useful.
Yep.
Now the
10
Wind Ranger is
seconds-
picked up, so
10
another hero that
seconds
does have
remaining.
decent survivability versus these relocate ganks.
5
Also a
seconds
perfect hero up
remaining.
against those relocate gangs. Like, Wisp's going to come in. You're never going to be 100% sure on your positioning or where Wind Range is going to
Reserve
be.
time.
So the possibility to get those tethers off very quickly, the shackles off
Team
very quickly,
Liquid's
even the
turn to
ability to catch
ban.
up both CK and Wisp locked together, because you do come in very close to each other. So the shackle chances go through the roof for the Wind Ranger. And then you got Visage, Prophet, Night Stalker, who can all capitalize on that moment. So all of that together, it's really...
10
I am so
seconds
scared
remaining.
for Sigma right now, speaking on the behalf of the Europeans,
5 seconds remaining.
even though I'm Australian. Yeah, Sigma's lineup for me, it does not feel
Reserve
sound. OD's going to be the last banner here from
Radiant
TC.
team pick.
Yeah, I think he's thinking the same thing I am right now. This is going to be like a full-on aggressive tri-lane. It's going to be Fade as Beastmaster as the
Liquid's
last
turn
one.
to
Good
pick.
pickup against the Night Stalker. This almost has to make a Nyx on the bottom. CK with CM up on top, aggressive tri-lane style. But up against a Wind Ranger as well as a Visage, I don't see that lane being as effective as I think Sigma wants it to be.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult. I do believe that, like you, it's going to be an off-lane Nyx assassin. Getting Beastmaster the levels is kind of too important, and
10
it's been a
seconds
long
remaining.
time since you can run Beastmaster off-lane and just be able to depend on Ancient stacking.
Five
And
Too
to
many
run,
teams
to run
counter it.
Beastmaster up against Nature's Prophet, even that's going to be a... Oh, it's not even going to be that. We get a Clockwork coming up as our last one. So Bulba takes the Clockwork, which means it can actually be a mid-solo Clockwork. I'm not quite sure about that one. Because if CK Wisp do end up in the middle lane, Clockwork could find himself locked in cogs with the CK. Like, that Reality Rift could really turn harsh on him. Or Bulba. I know Liquid do this every now and then, where they say, you're a signature hero. Clockwork is a signature hero, Bulba. Go to the off lane. That's where he needs to be. Then let TC take up the mid. Then quite far whatever lane he wants to have.
Well, I think if anything, there are two different options in my mind. Visage, Night Stalker, safe lane, dual lane, Wind Ranger's mid, and then Clockwork off
10
lane. I don't
seconds
think that's
remaining.
happening. I don't think we're fully dedicating Furion in jungle. I think what we're seeing here is an
5
aggressive tri-lane
seconds
with Clockwork
remaining.
mid, Furion in the safe lane solo. I think that they can maybe combat the Wisp tri-lane with a Night Stalker tri-lane. I think he's tanky enough to be able to take a brunt of that damage. Wisp, they've got some decent level 1 advantage, which is the big thing. Like, Wisp is not the strongest laning support. He gets a little bit better as he gets levels because those the spirits do a lot of damage, and that's definitely dangerous, but it's not as strong as it used to be because he no longer has that stun. So at level 1, Wisp is not that threatening. Even if he goes Spirits level 1, he's just not a big threat. He very easily gets bursted down. You pick up First Blood. At the very least, you trade and have an advantage via First Blood. So,
Yeah. I agree with you, dude. I agree with you. Mad, I don't agree with you, though. Again, another moment must be had after the draft. Never ready on time. In the meantime, let's check out some cosmetic sets.
yay,
what-
cosmetics.
Wow, don't sound so unexcited about that.
I'm just tired of like having pauses and just like, all right, let's look at the cosmetics, everybody.
I like the cosmetics, though. Like, you see some good stuff. That's actually nice bow.
I think it's just because I've seen everything that I would just kind of
Really?
Like, there's nothing.
Have you really seen everything, Cap? Have you been all around the world and just, like, seen it all?
Yeah, I've seen it all, Toby. I'm a jaded old man now.
Yeah.
Yeah, seen it all. You kids and your cosmetic items and yeah.
Get off my fake lawn, which is in my base. That's what it sounds like in America?
Yep.
Am I close? Am I close?
Exactly. It's like Gran Torino.
It's like Gran Torino.
Yeah. Get off my lawn. It's my Clint Eastwood impersonation.
I bet you're asking yourself a question. Did I pop off 3 voids or 4? In all the excitement, I lost track myself. So, do you feel stalked, punk?
You said voids, and I was like, "What are you?" And then I realized you were talking about Night Stalker.
And I had him on the screen at the same time too.
So
Smoke Gang Time by
we
Sigma.
are wrong.
Smoke Gang's time by Sigma. They won first blood. They're moving in pretty deep here as well. But look at the path they go. Like, if they were really going to commit to a
30
kill,
seconds
they
to
wouldn't have run down this direction. If you want to kill, you always run the high ground. You always run the high side. So this is just moving into what I call the VP position. I call it the VP position. The only guys who will continuously do this time and time again, even when it made no sense whatsoever because it didn't work. It now works with the new creep positions. So insert the VP position on the top lane.
The battle begins.
Yep, and now they just need to hopefully catch out this Night Stalker. It is going to be a dual lanes with fluff and stuff going bottom. This is odd, to say the least.
That you have a Night Stalker and a Visage up on the top lane. Yeah.
And we have a Nyx Assassin, which is supposed to be like this Nyx Assassin off lane, except for they're going for the First Blood. They may or may not stick around here, but at the very least they're going to try and pick up First Blood, which is, again, odd when you're doing it with a Wisp. Like, go Tether!
But, like, okay. TC, Initiation's already out of Miguel. They've used both their abilities, and then Stun will connect. But they're going for 2 different targets. Communication.
Yeah, but even if you frost, like, look at the health on Way 2. Even if they frostbit him,
They're
well,
trying.
Okay.
They're trying. He turns.
If Way 2 never,
There we go.
yeah.
Follow-up stun. Way 2. Backed into a corner, and he'll die.
First blood.
First blood goes the way of
Already
Sigma.
icing over.
If Way 2 doesn't go to his tower and instead wanders through the jungle with a Wisp, like up against a Wisp, like Tether is good in chasing. So if he doesn't go to the protection of a tower, then yes, Tether can actually be effective at level 1, I guess.
So basically what he had to do was run up this direction here. Oh, I got like, can you see the start of my line?
Even eat through the tree right there, that little safeguard tree.
This guy here. Wait, I can't even select anything.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. That tree right there. Cut that tree, people.
Tree.
Yeah, hang on. I need to have a zoom function on the mini map. You know how you do it on like the Counter-Strike maps where it like puts it full screen, so you can like start scribbling on stuff, like moving around hero icons and stuff.
Counter-Strike player. The most I know about Counter-Strike is watching you, Toby, and that can't be very much. Booyah!
Oh! Do I
man.
feel claws of a bit?
That between that and like my Chinese stream comment the other day, I'm just on top of it.
What was your Chinese stream comment the other day? Was
Much-
that the one where
much
we're,
like-
where we're
much like-
talking like anal explosion? Like was that,
What? I did.
you were part of that conversation.
I don't remember that actually. You're scaring me.
That was the
No,
one
I was
where
talking about me saying, much like Toby's brain, the Chinese stream is 5 minutes behind.
Oh,
sometimes.
right.
That
I
one.
remember there was a conversation about my fear when I go to Singapore for the local cuisine.
And you reference that by calling it an anal explosion?
It's
Toby, that's not the way to reference
It's the
that.
fear of death while on a toilet. It's
My God.
it's a dangerous experience.
I vaguely remember that, but not in those terms. Toby, please.
Well, at least it's not as bad as what Puppy and Cinderin came up during that very last episode of Talk Dota. Good times. Very, very bad mental scarring.
Don't bring up Talk Dota. Chat will go crazy. Oh, wait, we don't have chat.
Boom! Got him!
that was an unintentional one, too.
Miguel's in trouble top lane. Well, maybe he's not. Like, Void, we've already, like, Soul Assumption damage charge is up to 2 charges. It's nowhere near enough damage to bring down Miguel. Especially this early on. Bulber in the middle lane, he's 7 for 6 up against this 12 for 3. Faye's having some great time just spamming out those axes and bottle currying things back and forward.
Yeah, this dual lane is odd. They're like, basically, this bottom lane, they're using Furion to be able to interrupt, like a normal Furion does off lane, while Windrunner is pushing forward. It's like 2 separate off lanes because they have 2 separate jobs on off lane. One, Windrunner goes forward like a traditional off lane, tries to get experience. Furion always blocks, pulls, and pulls creeps. So it's weird and odd, but it might just be effective. I really expected the Windrunner to be mid against Beastmaster. That's what I thought we were going to see because she's a very effective versus melee heroes, but
with flair.
Well, they stuck
Apparently not.
stuck with the clockwork. I think that clockwork pickup was just like a bit of a curveball with the liquid lineup. This was caused us to go into these dual lanes, but at the same time, like it's still liquid with 1 death on the Visage. He actually made a bit of a mistake, but we're now about to crack into nighttime, so TC down gets a lot more powerful. You got Wisp running around just trying to hover over runes right now, but he's going to be careful about doing this kind of stuff when you can have a hook shooting Bulber up shortly too. He's cracking up about 5.5 levels. So you got a hook shot possibility. The one upside, which I really feel for Sigma right now, is the amount of space they willingly gave to Soshka on the bottom lane. Like, he's got a lot of CS, 23 for 4, but more importantly, he's got solo experience down here. He's walking around at level 5. Now, Wisp is behind in levels, but with the help of Mad, he's going to pull it in from the jungle. So they're already, like, power leveling up with the balls. So once they're ready to fight, Soshka should already have himself a 4-4 combination. Strength trades are done. This is going to be a very powerful TP in for the Wisp as well as CK when they're ready to go.
Yeah, I think this would be worth it if the Wisp was more shut down, but level 3.5, 5 minutes in, is really not that bad for a support.
Homing in.
So I consider this dual offlane kind of not very successful. And I think it mainly comes because of the CM gives you so many options. You can farm up the hard camp with a CM that gave them a lot more experience than I think otherwise. Maybe the Furion being in lane early on to be able to block some of those and just get Windrunner a couple of those levels. Maybe that's an effective idea. It just can't be against the CM.
Mm-hmm. Well, TC, again we see another Night Stalker that just fails to rotate. In this first nighttime cycle, I know we had a conversation about that almost, well, when you first arrived and started casting here. And I'm still a big believer that once you get the 6 minutes from TC, at least make something out of the last, like, the 2 minutes of the first nighttime cycle.
It's even worse this time, Toby. I disagree with you even more because he's a one Night Stalker. He's farming in the one position. You may see him pick up a teleport, and if he sees an opportunity, yes. Well, if the opportunity presents itself, but again, I still think that, in fact, you even see him, he's not leveling up Darkness. In fact, I just saw that today at G League, too. A Night Stalker who didn't get Darkness and waited for the level 2 night where he started out the nighttime at level 9.
I'm fine with that, too, though. Like, during the first nighttime cycle, it's only a 4-minute nighttime cycle. What are you really going to gain for an extra 25 seconds? Mm-hmm. There's no point in going nighttime until the second nighttime cycle. But still, you got very high movement speed, just staying on top of CS and having to weather the next storm. So satisfying growing from you.
Yep.
Mine's the uncertain one.
We speak now in grunts.
So like Tim the Toolman Taylor?
Yes.
Oh, what was that? Can I borrow your toolbox?
There's Hanamitis up on now on Koifa, so with that, I mean, I guess getting those early levels got him to level 3. Furion is not the fastest jungler in the world, so getting those early levels really didn't put him that far behind, besides just dedicating jungle from level 1. So
Bulba needs to push this lane out faster. They want to go for a smoke gank. Windrunner's just TP'd in towards this middle lane. You got Way Too Sexy also hovering around here. Like, they're looking to see if Fade is going to come in just a little bit too close, so Bulba can then hook shut him down, and then they just jump. But if that doesn't work, there needs to be a smoke movement and rotate around the mid. That's got to be the plan right now. Well, stun. Way too. What was he even doing there? Raw, easy kill. Bulba's trying to catch up right now, and there's your TP in. But look at the timing. Oh!
TC.
Oh, they're going to get out of here, but Bulba maybe not. He's going to get frostbitten up inside of his own cogs. TC runs at a nighttime. The shackle went the wrong way. It meant to get a pass to Fader, but it went onto Fader and didn't actually lash onto anybody else. So TC rotates in, loses so much of his life points. He'll have to run back to base right now. Bulba balls up his first hook shot.
Well, to be fair, he did hit the unit behind him.
True.
So that isn't really his fault. That's TC's fault for hugging him too close. Just like you shouldn't hug a Pudge from behind because mechanics being mechanics, apparently there's some backlash to when you throw the hook.
It's like the what was it, like the swing?
Yeah,
like
it's a wind up.
Raise the
a
bat.
wind back and
Hey,
and
better, hey, better. Ooh, better.
on that backswing, the hook just gets caught. It's like fishing when you reel back.
Just give it some slack and then don't hook the person that's behind you with your hook.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Never done that. Never actually done that.
But yes, the Nyx Assassin off lane successful because it got to level 6, rotated middle, picked off the Visage. 2-0.
Yeah, so Sigma gets to look good for this one. And it's showing on the goal graph. 1,200 going their way. Experience roughly about the same kind of thing. And Miguel, do you just have flashbacks to the Nyx Assassins we've been casting over the last few days where it's just like, okay, I'm going to Vendetta and kill someone, then Vendetta and then kill someone, then Vendetta and then get attacked by underneath the Sentry Ward. Okay, maybe not the full plan right there. Prophet ulti, yep, he's over to the side. They've used both the Sentry Wards in the lane. There's nothing left, and they get a lock. You could lock TC in there.
Keep vision.
He needs help. Oh, he's get what, Miguel?
Saw him sneaking up. He's going to run out.
TP.
Miguel. Oh my god, I can't believe he actually got out of that.
That shouldn't have worked.
That should not have worked.
They're checking every corner bar. This little, like, hook in one right there. Did Bulba have that rocket the entire time?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I hope he didn't. I really, really hope he
No,
didn't.
he threw it earlier on the side shop.
Okay.
To see that whole area, so.
Awesome. Awesome.
Dire's
Well,
bottom tower
Sigma
is
are
under
evading
attack.
danger, and they're going to take a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Or at least have the fortification from Liquid, but there's no TP supports coming. The rotation's coming from just walking. But Bulba in a good position for a hook shot this time around. No allies around him, but the tier 1 tower's already lost on this bottom lane. TP, last moment by Soshka, and now by TC, and he's going to jump in. Wisp, ulti, pull him out to safety. He's already using it, and wait, no, what?
Relocate
Did he get
was interrupted by TC.
Frostbite's coming in, pass in the corner. He's going to chain himself down to Fader, locking them together. The Raw's on TC. TP out by the CK, so he'll get himself away to safety. TC, one more attack from Fader. He gets him down to Frostbite on the Crystal Maiden now. Or from the Crystal Maiden.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And the Rocket's searching for Wisp in the corner. 75 life points. The one charge is being used again to keep him alive. And Fluffer stuff, he's trying to get it. Oh, he got him! Got him!
What a shot.
It's like maximum range. It's nothing but bullseye.
Beautiful play. That was the Night Stalker coming in and hitting the void on the Wisp. Obnoxious.
That's great, because it's kind of hilarious, though, at the end of the day, that was quite an even fight.
Yeah.
It didn't actually even require the pull-out.
Two for one, but they lost the Night Stalker, a very key hero.
Yeah. And it's like Night Stalker who also triggered off his ultimate for that one, so technically he just made this daytime a little bit longer. And didn't get anything for doing it.
I was about to say, he kind of needs it at this rate. He is not farming well enough to be ready for nighttime just yet. Still doesn't have silence because he hasn't been able to get enough levels to max out Hunter's, his aura.
But he also doesn't have any, okay, I subscribe to the Book of Cinderin whenever we go to Night Stalker. And the Book of Cinderin says 2 points Hunter in the night, 1 point crippling fear, 4 points void. No points ulti. That's the Book of Cinderin.
Yeah, but situationally, sometimes maxing out the aura is better. I think most of the time that book is right. But as with all books, Toby, you can't hold on to them too rigidly.
What if it's a paperback?
I'm just trying to.
If it's like a paperback, like I can flex the book a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, oh, is that a 3 or is that actually a 4?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Start folding pages over.
I think that's how writing works, Toby. You just can't bend it to be a different number.
Yes, you can. Where's Baldy?
Maybe just bend
Coming to the top lane. The stun's going to go on TC, and they've got to get the reality rift straight back in again. Chaos Bolt, 3 seconds on the stun. Shaka will not launch here from Fluff and stuff, and or Kuopa. He TP'd in here. Bulba's going to hook himself in. There's 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Pass won't survive long enough to pull that CK back out of the fight. He's got Chaos Bolt, throws it out. She was that on a familiar.
Yep.
Miguel's still in here. He's trying to attack on Bulba. Shackle controls man on the tree line. He's got Nova. He's got Frostbite. He lets off Frostbite on one, but all of Sigma completely overcommitted to Team Liquid there. And they lose everybody bar the Beastmaster, who TPs himself in towards the mid lane and says, screw this, I am out.
Yep, as soon as they killed the Wisp, they had won the team fight because Night Stalker with the buyback was going to be able to ensure them that they grabbed pretty much everyone else. So as long as Wisp didn't get away with the CK, that was going to be a one engagement for Liquid. So finally, they do get themselves a decent team fight, and still not ahead. But the gold lead's going to drop down a bit, and experience lead is finally in their favor.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, T1 tower to go. TP, they're going to try and contest this Sigma. It's just a Crystal Maiden coming in here. TC, man, that's like 3 gold walking around in booties.
He really is. He can do nothing about any sort of hero getting on him, so he has to play very, very passive at
Even
all
Miguel,
times.
oh, this could be a good hit. Go in, and double stun.
He has to have the Crystal Main. He has to have the Crystal Main in range for that maxed out Crystal Nova, and she had already blown it on the creeps earlier.
At the same time, man, like TC doesn't lose any life points now. Visage doesn't lose any life points now. Going in there and just hitting Vendetta, following up with a double stun, and then Spike carapassing back out again, at least forces TC to run back to base. or force the Visage to go back to base. And now they want to go in deeper. Like, we get smoke movements up from both the CM as well as the Nyx Assassin. They don't have that quick burst damage. The Hawk is scouting out for the Beastmaster, so it does see Fluff and stuff a little bit higher up. Mad goes up, plants the Observer Ward, but it's Miguel who runs further down. Invis Rune is stolen by Fader, but they're not finding anybody. All of Liquid are grouped up on this top lane and walking straight past the Sentry Ward.
Yeah, they know it's about that time that Sigma are going to be looking for that gank to set up the Wisp relocate. I mean, it's just very, very plain as day to see Sigma farming this bottom lane with Tether already put on the CK. Like, it's very, very obvious that a relocate is being looked at.
Miguel, he's hunting couriers, and he found him.
No.
Got him.
Been killed.
He saw it go out with the initial Hawk Scout. That's what saw the courier move out. So he just got the timing right. Almost lost him in the tree line. But luckily for Liquid, it did deliver his point booster towards that top lane.
Well, at least they're going to trade a tier 1 for it, looks like.
Looks like there's a lot more support coming out from Sigma. Remember, you saw that with CK relocate, and that'll come in right on top of Team Liquid.
Still nighttime.
Yeah, TC is roared up. They're going to come now. Wisp body right on top of him. And TC, Shackle is going to be there, holding Miguel out. But for now, with the cogs, everyone getting split. Nice Stalker and the Wisp on the sidelines. Soshka moving over towards the side. Clockwork again looking for those hooks, but this time back out to safety. CK retreating while the axe is flying. The 3-man stun from Nyx Assassin. But Miguel buys them all the space they require to move back into the safety of their tier 1 tower.
Well, that was smart. It was risky going into a Night Stalker like this during nighttime, but they did address him first. Still, though, they barely got out with a fair trade. There was the Wisp for the Night Stalker, but they almost lost the CK too. They lost both of those heroes. Liquid would have been well set up to be able to push into and take a tier 1, and that would have been a great team fight for them. So it was risky, but it just managed to pay off mainly because they targeted the Night Stalker first. Obviously, being nighttime, that's a huge advantage to him. So good job popping him, I guess.
Yeah. They hold him down, they catch him out, but at the same time, like, I'm still seeing Coinfer getting more and more powerful. At the same time, also, like CK hitting a BKB is also going to be one of those things during the next team fight that Clockwork is going to absolutely hate. In fact, all of Liquid will. That side device isn't coming anywhere near fast enough on Coinfer to be able to try and contest that. And with Fader on this bottom lane, Necro book, so Sigma, they're wanting to go from, we nail the Night Stalker out early on, they lose their damage output, and then we push a tower. Necro books create more troubles in the meantime, and Miguel also gives some kind of initiation. Oh, he ballsed it!
Dear. Well, that's a big fail. They should have been able to burst him down. Just like they did before, they should have been able to burst him down as long as you hit the stun.
Nice Stalker here. Stun here. Nyx here.
And
Take
all of
the
a
wrong
sudden with
boxes.
CK.
Bottom lane, roar from Fader. Just trying to make that space between himself as well as Bulba. Knowing Bulba was the bigger hero in that bottom lane just then. If he hookshot it back in again in combination with the Prophet Ultimate, they would have lost a lot of life points. But with CK, well, he's got no ulti available. Prophet's already trying to TP in here. They're in a really, really bad position, especially the CK. Chaos Bolt, Reality Rift, 3 seconds stun on Fluff and stuff. But where's the movement? Bulba, hook shots down, right on top of the Wisp. Shackle on top of the Sprout as well. So they kill up the Wisp, move over to Soshka, pops the BKB and Phantasm, tries to turn on top of Bulba, and quite successfully with a 2-second stun. Mad, just trying to make a little bit of extra space and slow down TC. Has to come in close now they're out of range of his ultimate. TC will now go down. There's a 1 for 2. Frostbite and Fluff and stuff. Use the one shot so he can actually, well, windrun himself away to safety. But further up, 4 seconds on way too sexy. And 3 heroes lost for Team Liquid. A double kill coming in for the Nyx Assassin. They're even going to take out one of the familiars with a Reality Rift. And they're going to try and take out Roshan on top of all of that. Beastmaster will deep fan the top, which means they won't have the inner beast, and also means that Sigma will back out from Roshan. They won't have the attack speed or the life points to survive it.
Yeah, 10-second BKB just proving to be too strong in that team fight. It was a good bait by Fluff and stuff, using himself to be able to delay the Chaos Knight Wisp long enough for them to catch him out, but unfortunately, as soon as Paris was popping that BKB, the team fight was pretty much guaranteed to go their way. That first use of BKB is just so powerful. CK is tanky enough, there's no way you're going to be able to pop him. He had enough mana that he'd be able to spam out Reality Rift and Chaos Bolt over and over again in that team fight, and there's nothing they can do. Once he goes golden, he's pretty much unstoppable. So Liquid, I mean, it's a fair fight. They still pick up the Wisp, and 10-second duration BKB is now down.
Dire's top tower is
Not
under
bad,
attack.
but again, we're still looking at some decent late game of Sigma. Chaos Knight isn't the greatest carry, but when you combine it with Wisp and the Beastmaster, he turns a little bit better.
Yep. There's a lot of pressure being applied from Liquid now on this bottom lane. They even start prepping up with a couple of Sentry Wards, looking for the next Assassin to come out too far. But Mad, well, they're not even going to wait for the next Assassin. Soshka running in, Reality right on top of TC. 4 seconds on the stun. Pops the BKB, so familiar stuns will have no effect on him whatsoever. TC trying to void up. He doesn't have that high movement speed because he doesn't have Darkness. He's 10 seconds off cooldown, and Wisp Spirits will in fact be the ones to pick off the Night Stalker. So Sigma just got a huge opening. They just got to kill without having to use Fate as Raw, which means Tier 2 tower should belong to them. 30 seconds on the sideline, Blink Dagger into the sun and flop and stuff. And even worse, he just used Wind Run and a 4-second stun. Bring on the RNG gods. In a way too sexy. The cogs gonna lock them all in together. And then the Phantasm. It is an absolute clusterbuck on Bulba. Follow up Nyx Assassin Stun. At least the Soul Assumption damage will pick off Beastmaster. Courier's dying in the middle of this fight. They need to catch up. There's the blink up from Miguel. Not enough mana to in fact get a stun. Realnoof goes down the hill in fact. But Soshka picks up the double kill. 4 heroes lost for Sigma. And the Courier, luckily for Sigma, it wasn't the Radiant Courier. That thing's got double Necro units on it. The Dire Courier is what died in the middle of this fight. That's that golden death right there, with dust as well as smoke.
Yeah, this is... I mean, they can try and go for a little bit longer, but Liquid with a Night Stalker as their 1 and Furion as their semi-carry, if anything, it's now the revolts. The roles have been reversed. Koifa is their biggest carry at this point, just because Night Stalker is so underfarmed. Like, him not being able to get into that BKB is the biggest problem for Liquid. If he had a BKB, they could contest the Chaos Knight much easier. But as it is, another 5 minutes, they'll probably call GG. Unless something drastic happens, they're able to turn a good team fight. Maybe they have a chance to snowball from there. But...
you are right. If the next team fight goes the way of Sigma, then Liquid is basically over for them. So this next fight is going to be so critical for them to get a good initiation off or catch someone out of position. But right now, I'm watching Koitfa. Wisp is on the way in, and that's going to be Wisp and Soshka coming in together. Nature's Prophet stood no chance whatsoever. Bulba, even if you tried to hook shot, you saw the movement of the crow, of the hawk. It was actually blocking the hook shot of Bulba. So he would have got himself caught inside the tree line if he tried to hook in just then.
Smart.
Very.
Well, another pickoff, and I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna see Chaos Knight be building into. I guess the Manta is gonna be his pickup. So we're gonna see that mass illusions Chaos Knight. So after that, he picks up maybe a Vit booster, but as soon as he hits level 16, he's actually got some decent tower pushing potential. With that many illusions, clears through towers very, very quickly.
Fader now on the bottom lane. Everyone's grouping up. What is this? Sasha doesn't even care about the mana. When he's got Arcane Boots over on Pass, and Pass already low on mana. Loving it. Miguel's moving up. And now goes inside of Vendetta at the perfect time. I don't know if like, Bulba did, yeah, they threw down a Sentry Ward. They didn't see it, but Bulba may have heard it. I got a funny feeling he heard that. That's the only way he could have known to do what he just did.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yep, and they successfully, because of that, they take a tier 2. Liquid just not looking for a fight right now, despite the fact that it is nighttime. We don't have a BKB up anytime soon.
Are they trying to back some item or something? Like you said, no BKB, but like, are you looking for Koifa to have something?
I'm looking for somebody to have something because there's no reason not to be fighting right now if it's nighttime. Like I know
Fluff's going Yules. It's
these team fights, I don't see them going well for Liquid, but they're only going to get worse at this point in time. So you might as well try and force a fight here and now. Yeah. Maybe the bottom tier 2 towers, it's a hard area to fight up against. So middle's going to be a little bit easier in that regards. This, they should try and contest.
Looks like they are going to try and group around and come from behind. The trees are coming down from the hillside. You've also got the rest of the Night Stalker up there and already mad. He's trying to scout it out. They are going to run in through the rear. Silence already trying to go off there on pass, but he's just overcharged up. Prophet only bouncing through, and Kuiper will be able to bring down the Wisp, but then at the same time, there's a good shackle on Fader as well as Mad, but the Night Stalker's already down. Roar over to Bulba. He's got no mana left. There's no stun here for Miguel, but even his physical DPS should be enough, while Soshka seems to be going to town somewhere else. Wisp is in fact now brought back into the game. The jump away, where's CK? He's got 3 seconds stun over on Fluff and stuff. Wisp ulted in to try and give a little bit of help. There's a triple kill for Soshka. They're looking for Kuiper as well as he's running up. Stun, gonna miss, but Reality Rift in with the Rod of Vatos from Mad. Mad's tied to Familiars right now. Ultra kill for Soshka. There's no one else left outside the base. Bulba's back inside. And that fight is not the fight that went the way of Team Liquid. That is completely Sigma's fight. And you called it already. And Liquid knew it. GG. Sigma will go up 2-1. And they might be the ones taking the large portion of the cash. Of course, there is $7,000 for the winner of this game, not including the extra bonus money you get from the revenue share from the ticket, and $3,000 goes to the 4th prize, which is going to be the loser of this game. I also got word that the grand final will be happening this Sunday. It's an earlier time slot, guys, so it's going to be 1 p.m. this Sunday. We will be playing out the Alliance versus Sigma game. That's for $25,000 first prize, $15,000 for the second place, plus the revenue share, of course. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back here after a short break for game number, well, we're going to game number 4, and we'll see if Sigma can take it out. Stay tuned. We'll be back.